Everyone, we have author Phoenix Blue here, and she's going to tell us a little bit about herself.
Hello, everyone. Sipping and flipping. I am Phoenix Blue, and I am a teacher and an author who loves to write for children to try to inspire them to live their best lives and to be heroes. So I am so excited to be here with you.
Okay, and how long have you been writing?
I have been writing since the age of 6, but this year is the year when all 4 books came out. But I have been
Wow.
writing for quite a bit of time. I spent a lot of time trying to inspire other people to write, but this year was my turn.
Okay, I hear you. 4 books in 1 year. Wow. Okay, so tell us about your books.
Okay, well, one first book is Battle of the Bullies. And basically, in that book, I have a group of heroes, they're triplets, and they thought they were safe because they had survived a school shooting. They went to another school after being homeschooled, and they found out that it's a little bit rougher. There's a lot of bullies there that they have to encounter. So they can decide to either follow the code of silence that's there at the school or to stand up and be heroes. So we kind of find out what they do in the Battle of the Bullies.
Okay, and show us the cover of that one.
Yeah, here's my baby. Okay, so Battle of the Bullies right here.
Nice. And how did you come up with the cover?
My students requested a book that had a picture that looked like them. And so I told the people that were creating the cover that to choose a young girl that had natural hair because that was something that they wanted. And we went from there. So basically it came from the ideas of my students, what they wanted, the colors that they wanted, and things like that. So the boys and the girls, the pink, I was surprised that the boys were like, okay with the pink, but they were like, yeah, I like the
Yeah, it's
pink.
just a little streak in there. That's okay.
Right. They were like, it's okay. So, yeah, they basically designed it for me. So I figured that's your audience. You should listen to them.
Nice. Now, what was your first book?
First book was The Blue Ink Movement, which is a collection of poetry that I have performed over the years for weddings and for funerals and for women conferences and for school events. And so, because the request was to have the book, I actually created it instead of sending people copies of my poetry. It's all in one place. This cover, the Blue Ink Movement cover, came from, with everything that's been going on in the world. I wanted to inspire people to, even if it sparks a protest, to live their best life and be bold people. And, we're all part of this Black Lives Matter movement. I wanted people to know that their lives matter. And so be your most bold self, even if your truth sometimes offends others.
Right. And book number 3.
Book number 3 is called Worth the Wait. Let me try to get that. And it is a children's book for the daddy-daughter relationship. And this father is trying to teach his daughter her value and her worth through telling her little stories and about his love for her. And it was inspired by my own father, who is no longer living, but which was a wonderful man and taught me everything I know about my value and my worth and that I'm worth waiting for. So I figure if his story affected me and built my confidence, then that story would help some young girl to also, build her confidence.
Absolutely. My condolences.
Oh, thank you. He was a
Welcome.
great man. I appreciate the time God gave me with him.
Okay.
And who felt Johnny? Yes, book 4. Yeah, book 4. Who felt Johnny is about a young man who is very troubled. He's very troubled, and being an African American male, sometimes our boys and their mental health is not the focus of our society. We tell them things like "man up," "don't cry," suck it up. And so, because he's kind of told those things and he goes through these challenges alone, he makes some poor decisions. And again, as he's being bullied, he reacts to those. So, you see in this story who's actually responsible for his failure. Is it his friends? Is it family? What is the struggle that's going on with Johnny?
Okay. And was
Yeah.
this inspired by you being a teacher?
Absolutely. There's one young man in particular who he's part of. I created a club called Team Bully Free Forever. And he came to me after a meeting and he said, I was thinking about committing suicide.
Wow.
And he was like, being part of this group has shown me that you guys care about me and that someone, if I was gone, that would matter to someone.
Wow.
And so by being part of the group and creating and forming those, friendships that he had formed, he realized how important his life was. And I said, wow, if one group could do that, just by honoring someone's story and making them feel valued, I want all boys to feel that way, and I want girls and everyone to know their worth.
Right. Wow, that's amazing. And tell us where we can purchase your books.
All of the books are available on Amazon or through my website. You would just have to search Fenyx Blue Ink. And Fenyx is Fenyx. I don't know why an English teacher changes the spelling. Got to be different, right?
Yep.
But that is where you could find them. So I hope you will go out and check out any of those 4 books.
Okay. And what book took you the longest to finish?
The book that took the longest was The Battle of the Bullies, and it is actually the longest book. So it was a lot of editing involved, and I wanted real teenagers to read it ahead of time. So I had to work on their schedule. So that was part of it being a little longer journey too. If they say, hey, yeah, I'll read it, it'll take me 2 weeks, then you have to wait 2 weeks.
Right. Okay. And out of all 4 of your books, do you have a favorite character?
My favorite character is Alexis, and she is just the epitome of what a strong, young African-American girl is. So I love her. I loved writing her story. Kind of live through Alexis sometimes because she can sing and I can't.
I got excited. I was going to say, oh, you could sing?
No, only in the shower because that's where we sound good, right? I sound really good there.
And what do you hope readers take away from reading your books?
I really have always felt that anyone who reads my story, I want them to be empowered by the end of the story. And I want them to feel like they could go out and pretty much conquer the world, because just because you're young doesn't mean that you are not capable of great things. Just because I'm female, just because I'm this, there's no excuse. You can be the greatest version of yourself. So I want people to feel empowered after they read, even though they're still gonna have those touching moments, maybe cry a little bit too.
Right.
But I want them to feel empowered at the end.
Okay. And did you experience any type of writer's block?
Yes, of course. There's writer's block because, there's those moments when you start to doubt yourself a little bit. You're like, is this where this character should go? But because my stories are usually revealed through dreams, I just trust the dream, like follow the dream and, don't question it. But yeah, I have had those moments when I look back to something like, what idiot wrote this? Oh, that was me. So, yeah, I've had those moments for sure.
And are you on social media?
I am on social media at Fenyx Blue Ink, on everything, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. I think it's Fenyx Ink, but everything else is Fenyx Blue Ink. Yes. Okay. And I follow you guys because everybody smart should. You know what I mean?
Thank you. And is there anything else that you would like to tell us about your books?
Just enjoy the read and please reach out to me. My favorite part about this whole journey is what the readers think. So I, love to hear from you, connect with you. I'll answer any questions. It's all about the reader for me. I love getting that feedback, whichever way it goes. I like positive feedback, but constructive criticism is okay because I have a 3rd book coming out, this young adult fiction, and I love feedback because that will help me in writing that story.
How do you think being a writer has helped you as a person?
I think the whole benefit of one of the benefits of being a writer is that you do have to have empathy for others because you're constantly, you're constantly putting yourself in someone else's shoes. And that then kind of, goes into your own life, because you start to think of that person's story, not just your own. So that's helped me in my personal life. It's helped me as a mom to understand where my kids are coming from. And, same thing with my student as a teacher, I can put myself in their shoes. So I think that has been the most beneficial thing. Instead of only seeing through my eyes, I get to see through others' eyes.
And are you a reader as well?
I am indeed a reader, and a big reading enthusiast like you guys. Like, please read. I'm for reading for sure. Always reading something. I'm currently reading T.D. Jakes' When Women Pray. Okay. And I am very empowered by that book so far. He really highlights some really strong women from the Bible. And so that has been a really great read during these, challenging times that we're in right now. Yeah.
Yes. All right. And do you have any tips for any aspiring authors out there?
Absolutely. If I could give you 3 tips, and these are free, take them. Okay. The first one is to be true to your story. Along the way, people are going to try to change your story as you get editors, as you get beta readers, all these different things. But remember to be true to your story. You were here, you were created to create a story, honor that story. So that's number 1. But number 2 goes with it. Be open to critiques, because we can all learn along the way. So you're not changing the heart of your story, but you are listening, because the story is not only for you, it's for your audience. And so you have to listen. And the third thing is, I don't know if it's typical, but remember that you are a business. And so sometimes as a writer, we only want to be the creative, but you have to remember that you're going to have to create a budget. You're going to have to operate like a business and think of your consumer in mind. So that is the advice that I would give, is to know that you are a business, to listen to critiques, and to also be true to you.
That's great advice. You should have charged for that one. She's going to charge y'all.
Oh, yes. Just go to my website and here's my, what is it?
Right.
PayPal.
Here's my PayPal. If you want to hear more, you're going to have to pay for that. No, that's great advice, though. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to talk to you, and I really appreciate your mission and what you're doing for authors and for reading overall. So please keep up the good work. It looks like it's a passion project. So
yes, it is. Definitely.
Have fun with it. It's definitely going to pay off, and I'll be sipping and flipping.